This is like the turning point in my digital real estate career, if you will, because I seriously considered walking away from this business model. I didn't have any money coming in. I was like, dude, I've been on 6 months to wait for these sites to rank. And it was just a mess, man. So I was considering the option of going and being a salesperson because that's what I had done. I was good at it. I was making more money being a salesperson before I started doing this than I was doing this. I was. So I was like, I'm just going to go be a salesperson. Maybe that's just what I'm cut out for. But here's what saved me, guys. I took one of these yellow notepads. This is what I wrote on the top of this paper. What do you want? And I knew exactly what I wanted. And I wrote this. I wanted 100K per month. That was the goal. And then I wrote this. Let me circle it. So I know it's a little small. I wrote this. Why? Why? And I started going into this and I went like 7, 8, 10 layers deep. I was like, okay, I want 100K per month, but why? Why 100? And I drilled down and I figured out exactly what it was that I wanted out of my life. If I'm going to get to 100K a month, I have to own a piece of a business. I can't do it being a sales guy. And I didn't want to do it trading my time for dollars. That's the starting point. Secondly, I'll be damned if I'm going to build my career to 100K per month, only to have somebody tell me that, hey, we're not going to pay you those commissions anymore, only to have to do it again the next year. It's got to be recurring. I got to have assets attached and I'm not trading my time for dollars. And so that moment in 2019, when I had this conversation with myself, when I figured out what it was I actually wanted, that is when I realized I have got to figure out this rank and rent thing. It has the assets. It's got the recurring. It's got the freedom. It allows you to make money while you sleep. You can do it from anywhere in the world. It's scalable. It checks all the boxes. And I started looking at it going, dude, Nick, you never gave it a fair chance. You got into it. You got distracted. You went into it and you went and started building websites. You got into it and you did all the other things and look at your revenue. You don't even have any sites. You're not even doing the thing that you wanted to get into. 2019, I'm working a lot. For the amount of time I was working, the amount of stress, the amount of moving parts, to make 8 to 10 grand was really frustrating. So this sucked. So this is a big decision I had to make. I made it. I said, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. And that is what I did. So in 2019, I started going through my clients and I'm like, SEO, website, whatever. And I had a couple of little tiny clients that were paying me 500, 700. Like I think I had 2. And I'm like, dude, I forgot I even had that client because we don't talk. And so I started like thinking, I'm like, isn't that what I want? Like, I want people, I don't have to spend that much time with them. I don't have to talk that much to them, but they just keep paying. And I'm like, I'm going to mimic this deal. And that specific deal was a lead generation deal where I owned the website. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. It was, hey, you're going to pay me $500 a month and I'm going to give you the leads. Done. That's it. And I just looked at that. I went, that is how I'm going to get to 100K. I'm going to go and do that $500 deal. I'm going to go raise that to 1,000. I'm going to do it 100 times. If I do that, I'm going to be able to get to that number. And so guys, in 2020, that's what I did. And I said, okay, we're going to figure this out. We are not going to do pay per lead deals. We are not going to do SEO deals. We are not going to do anything else besides rank and rent deals. And we're going to make sure they're flat fee. That was number 1. And so then what I did is I started like, okay, how are we going to sell these deals? And so some of you are on here right now. You have websites that are producing leads. Now, those of you that have websites right now, I want to know how many of you guys have a website right now that is producing leads and is not sold. I had a bunch. So here's what I did is we went out and we took the sites that were already producing leads. We started selling those and we got pretty good at doing that. And this is where I really discovered this pre-selling thing is I started like mapping things out and I was like, okay, cool. We've gotten a few deals. Awesome. Good job, Nick. But I want to go to 100K. That was my goal, right? And I started doing the math. I started looking at it going, okay, if I'm going to get to 100K, I'm going to have to set up 100 sites because at this point, by the way, I had realized a lot of these 250 sites I had built were garbage. They were not in good niches. They were not in good cities because I didn't know how to find a city and niche. So I'm like, I'm going to have to start from scratch. And what's it going to cost me to build 150 sites today? How much for content? How much with my employees? All this different stuff. How much is that going to cost me to build that? And how much am I going to have to spend over the next 6 months before I can start selling them? And this, my friends, is where I was like, I can't wait 6 months to start selling these websites. And that is where this whole concept of like, what if we were able to sell the site up front and then use the client's money to build the website and rank it? This is where I started like like really getting excited. I'm like, dude, there is a way. What we did first is we took one of our websites that we had built and it wasn't producing leads. It was a concrete site. And we said, what if we just went and started running some ads? What if we just set up a simple Google ad and we started getting some calls coming in? I didn't know anything about Google ads, by the way. I didn't take a course. I just started running Google ads and leads started coming in. And guess what? We were able to use that site, the site that was already built. And instead of waiting 6 months, we're like, dude, we can just set up ads and we can get leads coming in today. And then we can sell the site and then we can use the client's money to pay for the SEO, to pay for the content, to pay for everything that we need to rank the website. So we did that and we did it one time. And I'll never forget, the customer's name was Alex. And I remember it so vividly. I didn't have a lot of momentum and I was just kind of like, oh, like this guy's not even going to be interested. But we had sent him a couple free leads and I got on the phone with him and we went through everything. And I get to the end and I'm like, yeah, it's $1,000 a month for 6 months. And he goes, okay, how do I pay? And I'm like, I'm probably spoke a different language because I'm like, oh, you want to do it? And I took his card and I ran the card and I got the $1,000 deal. And it just like my head exploded. I'm like, dude, we did it. We took a site that wasn't producing leads. We didn't wait for it to rank. We just set up ads. We took a couple of those. We gave it to the client. We jumped on a call after 3-4 leads and he gave us $1,000 and he signed a 6-month contract. That's when everything for me changed. That's when I got really, really excited. And I will tell you right now, from that day, I have not built a website unless somebody has told me or signed a contract and given me their card saying, I am going to pay for leads on this website for 6 months or 12 months or 3 months. I have not used any of my own money to build a website since that day because my mind was blown. And then I started realizing if I can get other people to pay, dude, everything changes. And I was like, wait, what?